Hi Stampers, this is Kim with Great Inspirations. Thank you for joining me for my Stamp Happy Holiday series of card making ideas. And today will share with you a card layout that it's an older card layout, but it's one that I just go to often because number one, it's easy, but number two, it uses up scraps. And I don't know about you, but I seem to collect scraps. I just seem to have all these scraps of pretty designer series paper and sometimes even scraps of cardstock and all. And I do try to use them, and that's why every time I find some kind of card layout or come up with a card layout that I can use my scraps, I use that layout often. So let's talk a little more about this card. I call this card layout the around the block layout because you use the scraps of designer series paper and you basically lay them around a block. Now, as you can see, this card, cute little card, I made using the Stampin' Up! Snowman Magic stamp set. And then this one I made with the Yeti to Party stamp set. And yes, all these pieces here were cut out with dies. Yes, I know there are no dies in the mini catalog. However, during the month of September, Stampin' Up! Is offering 6 sets of limited edition dies. And the Yeti to Party is one of those sets. So you can order those now if you care to, now through the 30th of September, and they are also only until supplies last. Now, for more information about the dies that are available in the stamp sets they go with, and this card layout and measurements and supplies and all that kind of stuff, just see the description of this video, and there will be a link to my corresponding blog post where all that will be right there for you. So let's look at this card real quick. This was made with one of my favorite stamp sets, the All Bundled Up. And no die. I fussy cut him. There are these 3 cards, but I thought, well, let's do another one. And I will show you how to create this card. So you're going to need some scraps, some 1-inch pieces of designer series paper. Now, I have 2 of each size. You can have them all alike. They can all be different. It's totally up to you and whatever your card design, will look right for your card. So right here, I have 2 pieces, and this is that pretty Tahitian tied in color, and these are cut at 1 by 3 inches. And then I have 2 more that are cut by 1 by 4 1/4 inch. And then you're going to need 2 pieces. Yes, I have stamped on that. I'm ready. 2 pieces of basic white cardstock that's cut 4 by 5 1/4. And one is for the inside, and one we're going to build our frame on for our around the block. And then you will need a card base, and it does not matter if it's 8 1/2 by 5 1/2 scored at 4 1/4, or if it's like mine, 11 by 4 1/4 scored at 5 1/2. And you can use this card layout in portrait orientation or in landscape orientation. So that makes things pretty easy. And then you will need a piece of 2-inch by 3 1/4 inch basic white, or whatever color you want for your focal panel. However, when we lay these pieces on here, there will be space in here if you just wanted to stamp something right in the center. So that's up to you whether or not you use this piece. For me, I just find it easier because I usually stamp off the sides, and It's just easier to do this than try to stamp it first and then put the pieces around. So, as I said, this is for the inside. It says Season's Greetings. Stick it in there for now. And I'm going to use a stamp set and a punch that these are actually were introduced last year, but they returned to the mini catalog again this year. The Penguin Place Bundle, the Penguin Place stamp set, and the Penguin Builder Punch to create the focal image for this card. But first we need to go around the block. And for me, I find it's easiest to just pick a corner, and it doesn't matter if you start with the longer pieces or the shorter pieces first. It's your preference. I tend to start with the longer ones. I just do. No real reason. And we just line this up the corner and just lay it right down there on that paper. Right like that. You just turn it, and we can take one of the smaller strips and again we're just going to line it up. There we go. Now we need a longer one again. And now our shorter one. Oops. There we go. That is the card layout, and this will go on our card base. Just like that. And while we're at it, let's put the inside panel in the card. And now all you need is the focal image. And like I said, if you just wanted to stamp something here, that's great. But I like to use one that I've already put together. And just so happens, I have one right here. Put some adhesive on the back of it. As you can see, I used that cute little penguin. Punched him out, added some accessories, a little stamping for his beak and his eyes. These were punched. And then I did have to fussy cut the gifts and, of course, the hat and the scarf. But there is this card, and I thought, you know what, that needs a little something. So I got out some of the rhinestone basic jewels. And I took my Tahitian Tide, and look, one of them just popped on my finger. I took the Tahitian Tide Stampin' Blend. Let me get it real quick. The Stampin' Blends marker, it's an alcohol marker, and I just colored in some of the gems. And it's just real easy. I used this bullet tip. It doesn't take very long. Ooh, that one's kind of moving around. Actually, it's so fun. I'm surprised that these are still sticking to the paper because these are probably from 6 or 7 years ago. They were in the bottom of my gem box. So I thought, oh, better use those. So anyway, we'll put a few of these on here just to jazz it up a little bit. And I don't know, maybe one up here. And there we go. It's a cute card. It's quick. It's easy. It really doesn't take a whole lot of time. And here I'll bring these 3 in. There's the All Bundled Up, Yeti to Party, Snowman Magic, and the Penguin Place. And as I said, in the description of this video, there will be a link to my corresponding blog post where you can find information about the special edition dies, all of the supplies I use for these cards, and a few more things concerning these cards and just how to put them together. So thank you for joining me today, and until next time, stamp happy!